Hello and welcome to my channel. Today, instead of ice cream, I'm going to be making ice cream cones. I've actually tried making them a few times with not so successful results, but yesterday I made Fruity Pebbles Crunch ice cream and I used the leftover mush in the strainer to make cones, and it actually worked this time. So I'm going to show you how I did that today, and I also thought I would try a couple other different cereals to see if we can make some fun cones. So the first thing we need to do is make the ice cream base. Even though we're not really going to make ice cream, I want to see if we can repeat that. So we're going to need 1 3/4 cups milk, 1/2 cup of sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of xanthan gum. In my last video, I think I said 1/8 teaspoon, 1/4 teaspoon. And once it cools down, 1 3/4 cup of cream. So we have the ice cream base. I don't think this really needs to chill. So I don't need to use this all for one cereal. I think I'm gonna do one more and split this up 4 ways. Tutti Frutti. I'm gonna start this with the Cinnamon Toast Crunch because I think that's gonna be the best, honestly. 1 cup, 2 cups. Want to get as much of the moisture out as possible. I think they look pretty good. This one has got a few cracks in it, which may present a problem, but yeah, let's just give it a try. Set it to 250. I'm going to set a timer for 5 minutes. I'm sure it'll take a little bit longer than that, but I think 5-minute intervals is probably the best way to test it. Just a couple more minutes. I'm just taking out one at a time because this is a very tricky part. Oh yeah, this is going to work. Look at that. It's a little soft. It's a good thing I left the other one in there. Oh, that's hot. You gotta go fast. Well, that turned out a lot better than I expected. The first one was a bit of a fail, but the second one is like a perfect cone. Smells like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, not as strong as if you opened a box of it, so I think there's definitely a way to get this to be much more potent. And I think the plan is going to be just to use the smallest amount of liquid possible so that there's really no loss of flavor, just so that it's sort of mashed up into a spreadable consistency. Sort of like cookie butter, I guess. I'm really encouraged, so I think I'm gonna make a bunch more today. I think I'm just going to use 1/4 cup. I suppose I could put this in a blender or a food processor, but I kind of want to retain some of the pieces.
Suppose I could put this in a blender or a food processor, but I kind of want to retain some of the pieces.
This one didn't work so well, but a flavor isn't there either. I don't think I mashed it up enough. Maybe a little bit more liquid, and I have an idea. It's a grind. My only question is how much to add this time. I added 1/4 cup to the Tutti Fruttis and it didn't really hold it all together, but I think part of that was because it wasn't really crushed up enough. So we're gonna start with 1/4 cup again this time. Why not, right? This seems like it might be the right amount. This has a really thin consistency, so I don't even think half of this is as much as I'm gonna need. Let's see. Because it's so fine, there's a danger of spreading it too thin. So I'm really trying not to do that, but failing. Ah! Okay, let's go for it. So satisfying. It's art. Are you seeing this? I mean, seriously, look at this. This is way better than I ever expected. Still a little squishy. Well, that was super successful. I'm actually blown away at how good this turned out. I'm gonna clean everything up and then I will come back with some conclusion. All right, well, that was a lot more work than I thought it was going to be, but it was totally worth it, in my opinion. Okay, so here are my conclusions. I made roughly 15 cones, going from this to this, and I think I learned a lot along the way. The best ratio of cereal to liquid was 2 cups of cereal to 1/2 cup of liquid. Both mashing by hand or crushing into a powder in a food processor will work. A combination of the two is probably best for a crispy but not too brittle cone. Evenness and thinness are the key to a crispy and perfect cone. Once it's out of the oven, you have a very short window of just a few seconds to get it into a cone shape. Flip it over first if you want the textured side to be on the outside, or just leave it as it is if you want the textured side to be on the inside. Anything over 250 degrees and it will cook too quickly and unevenly. It takes roughly 20 minutes to get it to the right stage, but check it every 5 minutes until the top of it is dry and it doesn't jiggle when you press on it. And of course, the most important conclusion was figuring out that you can soak pieces of cereal and glue them onto the exterior of the cone before baking it. I have so many more ideas now that I've figured out a little bit of this tricky technique. I would like to try using some other liquids besides the ice cream base. I'm not entirely sure that it was necessary. The sugar definitely helps because these don't have a tremendous amount of flavor on their own and they're not as sweet as you would think. But overall, this was a really fun experiment and I'm definitely going to be making more, especially of these. And now we're on to the most exciting part, which is flavor and ease of use. As a control, I have some sugar cones. Back it up, baby. No, no, not for you. No, no. Already I can see that the size of these are quite different. This is Fruity Pebbles Crunch. This is the first one. It was very thick and chunky, and I realized this wasn't really going to work. And the next one, thin and crispy and beautiful, and this kind of made me realize, okay, this is something that would work. I would say these are very comparable in terms of weight. And how do they work as cones? Birthday Crunch, which is a Captain Crunch variant. I put some cotton candy on top before I closed it up, and it looks like this now. This one is not going to taste good, and it's not going to work, so I'm not even going to bother wasting it. This seems more like a cone that you would actually want, and it's kind of appealing, so I'm excited to try this one. Ooh, this is beautiful. Is it gonna break? Hey, that worked. All right, that's as far as it's gonna go. Here we go. That's lovely. Great texture, nice crisp. Now let me just try the cone. Considering this is one of the earlier ones, this is almost perfect in terms of texture. Seems durable enough. Yeah, not bad. So the next is the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, which was the first one that I made for the video. Here's version 1, and here's version 2. Smells like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. These are a little thick. The method I used for this was just hand mashing like I was making the cereal milk ice cream. You can see the bits of cereal actually in it. I think it looks very nice. So for these, I think we're going to go with some chocolate macaroon, coconut macaroon. Ooh, a little goopy. Ooh, look at that. I mean, this is very soft right now, but holy schmoly. Is that appealing? I don't know. Okay, well, we're gonna do this fast. It works as a cone. The ice cream does not work as an ice cream. I microwaved it. That was a mistake. It was too hard, and now it's just melted. But hey, if you were outside in the hot sun, this cone would protect you from most of the ice cream. It's mostly going on the inside, but there is a hole at the bottom that will eventually... No chocolate for dogs. All right, let's give it a shot. Look at that macaroon. The cone has like the right weight to it. It has a nice chew. I taste cinnamon. I don't know if I would recognize that it was Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but I believe it if you told me, and it really is. Yeah, this is good. This thickness for this cereal, it works really nicely. Let me clean this up now. So to overcorrect for that gigantic fail with the Tutti Fruttis, I decided to go the opposite direction and use a food processor. And, you know, it yielded a pretty decent cone. It almost looks professional in a way. One thing I did realize was that overcooking them doesn't necessarily mean they're burned. This tastes delicious. So for the Cap'n Crunch, we will be trying some blueberry preserves. This one is really good. This is with that Bon Maman jam. Feels sturdy. Doesn't feel like it's gonna crack. Oh wait, these little things. This one is gorgeous. I'm excited for this. I think this is gonna be delicious. Oh my God. That is out of this world. This ice cream is so good. I might eat this whole thing. Make this ice cream. These little yellow citron cookies that I put in there. The flavor is good, but it doesn't taste specifically like Captain Crunch. It is a little chewy when you get down to this part, so it probably wasn't fully cooked. The end pieces that are fully cooked, delicious. Because that worked so well, oh my God, I want to eat the rest of this. Let me put this away. Because the Captain Crunch were so successful, save a couple of them, I decided to try the same technique with the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and it worked really well. Smells great. I don't want to break into these because I think they're just going to be the same. It's definitely a technique that you can repeat with different cereal. And last but not least, we have Trix. This was my final batch, and obviously the most successful one. I couldn't be happier with how these turned out. Visually, they are stunning. How are these gonna taste? That's the question. That's quite nice. Meticulous. Oh my God. As you can see, they're very fragile. Well, that's good because I did want to taste to see how it would. I did want to see how it would taste. Ooh, yeah. Obviously, tastes more like Trix than. What are you gonna do? For the final cone, instead of using my only pretty one, we're going to use some pink Starburst. I've been saving this for a little while. Oh, look how smooth. Look how smooth that is. Oof. You tell him. That is delicious. I don't know if it's just the ice cream, but... Well, thank you so much for sticking around, if you did stick around through all of this. This was kind of a lot. Far more than I expected. But I learned a lot, and I'm actually really excited to try some more things that will be fun and pretty to look at. And if you have any ideas for other videos, I would love to hear them. If you have better ideas for these cones, I would love to hear that too, because geez, this was a lot of work. Totally worth it in the end. All right, from the both of us, sleepy baby, see you next time. Bye.